Hello and welcome. If you're learning Mandarin, you've probably learned the four main tones. But have you noticed that sometimes in real conversation, they don't sound quite like they do on a chart? That's because of something called tone Sandhi, or more simply, tone change rules. Today, we're going to break down the three most important tone change rules you'll actually hear and use every day. Let's dive in. The third tone changes its pronunciation depending on the tone that follows it. When you have two third tones back to back, the first one changes into a second or rising tone. Think of the most famous word in Mandarin, ni hao. We don't say ni hao with two full dips. It sounds clunky. Instead, it flows into ni hao. The first syllable rises. Same with hen hao and lao ban. So, third tone plus third tone becomes second tone plus third tone. What if you have more than two? All the third tones change to second tones except for the very last one. Take the phrase 我很好, I am very good. It's three third tones in a row. Following the rule, it becomes second tone plus third tone, 我很好. Another example is 你想买, you want to buy. When a third tone comes before any other tone, a first, second, fourth, or neutral tone, you don't say the full dipping and rising sound. You just do the first part, a low dipping tone. We call this the half third. For example, in 我说, I speak, you don't say a full rising 我. You just say a low, flat 我, and then go right into 说. Same with 好了, okay. It's not a full rising 好. It's a quick, low 好了. These changes apply within one spoken phrase. If you pause, you can keep a full third tone with the rise. Next up, the number one, E. This word is a chameleon. It changes its color, its tone, based on the word that follows. When E comes before a fourth tone, a falling tone, it changes to a second tone, E. For example, E and young becomes young. E and g becomes yi ge. When E comes before any of these other tones, it changes to a sharp falling fourth tone, E. Before a first tone becomes yi tian. Before a second tone becomes yi nian. Before a third tone becomes yi ben shu. It only keeps its original first tone when you're counting, listing it, or using it as an ordinal number. For example, counting er, sun, or with ordinal number de, meaning the first. Finally, let's look at the word for no or not, bu. Bu changes when it's followed by a fourth tone. It becomes a rising second tone, bu. You don't say 不是, you say 不是. You don't say 不要, you say 不要. You don't say 不用, you say 不用. Before any other tone, first, second, or third, it stays as 不, 不懂, 不忙, 不好. So what happens when bu meets yi? Let's look at 不一定. First, look at yi ding. Since ding is a fourth tone, yi changes to yi, so we have yi ding. Now the bu is followed by the new sound yi, which is a second tone. The rule for bu is that it only changes before a fourth tone. Since it's now before a second tone, it stays bu. So the whole phrase is pronounced bu yi ding. It's a chain reaction.